Metro Fire is putting on a class. It's for what they call CERT, which is the Citizens Emergency Response Team. And what it's designed to do is it's designed to teach each one of the people that attend the ability for them to be prepared for the natural disasters or the unnatural disasters that occur. And it's a 24-hour class. There is no limitations as far as, it doesn't matter what physical shape you're in or anything like that. There's an academic component to it that allows you to be prepared. And there's a physical component that allows you to understand how to do simple things like shutting the gas off to your house, shutting electricity off to your house, and things like that. And it's a great program. It's designed so that you can become self-sufficient when the disasters happen. If everyone's seen the disasters over the last so many years, you've seen that it used to be that you needed to have supplies for 3 days. And we've seen that doesn't work out too well. The reality of that is the fact that most of the time you need much more. During this class, we do things that jog your memories, teach you how to think, so that you can go through and say, what exactly do I need in order to be prepared for when these disasters do hit? Second component to this is CERT is a group of people that can become organized, and when they're organized, they can actually respond to these emergencies. If you see, there was a video that was sent out to all of you in the last week, and it talks about, it's got a video on CERT, and CERT's different with every community, but it's designed so that you can see that when disasters hit, a lot of people think, okay, well, I get 3 days worth of stuff, the fire department will be here, or the police department will be here, and we realize that that's not actually what happens. And so we'll be there as soon as we can. But the reality is that, you know, with the flooding that you see, what happened in Texas, what you saw happen all over the world, the reality is that the more prepared you are, the better response you're going to be for yourself and your neighbors. So we teach you how to do certain very simple things, how to organize, and if you choose to become a member of the CERT program, then you actually get training on a continuous basis, and that training would allow you to come together when there is a disaster, and allows us to go through and utilize you as a resource so that you can actually help out. And so one of the things in the video, it talks about the fact that if the community organizations did not come together during those periods of time, that they would have been so far done. You know, the church is opening up, the community services like Rotary and all the different clubs out there, if they can get together and do the things that you're trained to and that you're going to do just by the nature of of who you are. You know, people that join Rotary are people that are trying to do things for the community, to help out and stuff. And so when those disasters hit, if you're trained and you're able to do that, you're going to be able to be a much better utilized resource for that. It's a 24-hour class. It doesn't require any physical capabilities at all. We do what you do. We train you to the level that you want to be trained at. We expose you to the amount of things that you need to do, and from there we put you through some things that, you know, depending on what level you want to be, you can do, you know, pretty much whatever you want to do in the CERT. So if you can go through your videos, look at what you got sent, and see if that's something that strikes your interest. And if it is, then like I say, there's a class that we have coming up. It's a 24-hour class. It's 2 Thursdays that work for 4 hours each, and 2 Saturdays that work for 8 hours. And then after that, you get your CERT certificate that shows you're a level 1. That you can do certain things. And so.
Okay. Good evening. Hello. I am your speaker engager. And thank you for those who are sending me ideas for speakers. I'll be taking on the same duty next year under new Presidente Bruce. So I continue on. So I do need your help with any good thoughts or ideas. Okay? So tonight I'm really excited to introduce our 2 speakers. I think they seem to have a really wonderful concept and a nonprofit organization to tell you about. Anything that has to do with music has got to be joyful. So a very positive thing. So I'm going to take a quick moment and introduce our speakers. Anne is an accomplished singer and songwriter in the Sacramento area and the co-founder of the newly formed nonprofit TunesWork, specifically formed to help any organization or facility use music as medicine. okay? Her co-founder, or together with her co-founder, Mike Silcox, the co-founder and director, TunesWork reaches out first the Sacramento area and then hopes to expand nationally. Both of them are proud ambassadors of music and memory. There's a lot more to tell you, but I'll let them speak for themselves. Please welcome Ann and Mike.
Thank you so much. What a fun group you guys have here. I've been having a really great time tonight, so thank you so much for having us. As Shelley mentioned, we are the co-founders of TunesWork. TunesWork advocates, supports, funds, and helps to sustain facilities that are using music as medicine. And music is so incredibly closely related to memory. I mean, just think about it. You're driving down the road and a song comes on the radio, or a song is played as you are presenting, and all of a sudden you go to that memory. So that was, what was it, Sound of Music? Climb every mountain, right? All of a sudden you are whisked back in time to the specific place that you were when you heard that song. And it happens every single time. So let me give you an example, and this seems like a good example to give, being that St. Patty's Day just passed. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. Right? So think about maybe the first time you heard that song. Where were you? Okay, here's another one. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. So we were doing a Rotary presentation, and I asked, is there anyone in the room that has a memory of that song? And this wonderful woman raises her hand in the back and she says, my husband of now 30 plus years took me to see Good Morning Vietnam on our first date. And she said, that is the first time I ever heard that song. And every time I hear it, that's where I go. So this is one of mine. When the sun beats down, burns the tar up on the roof. I know you know it. And your shoes get so hot. You want to sing, I know you. And your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby is where I'll be. Very good. Give yourselves a hand. Awesome. So I was 16 years old when I heard that song for the first time, and that song was written many years before I was born. However, I was 16 years old, and I was living down in Southern California, and my mom found out that the Drifters were coming to a traveling fair. So the next thing I know, we're whisked up, and I'm sitting there in the bleachers with the wind and the beautiful sun right by the beach, and there are the Drifters in their sequin suits singing, Under the Boardwalk. And so every time I hear that song, that's where I go. So what are those songs for you? Just think about it for a second. We are actually on the track just before that. There it is. When you first fell in love, do you remember the song, obviously, that they played when you were married, when you were on a road trip with your friends? How about the song that your mom used to sing to you before you went to bed? How about the songs that you used to sing in the pews every Sunday at church? Or in the synagogue? Or how about the day at the fun park? Or at the traveling fair? It goes on and on and on because music is linked with our most precious memories. An estimated 5.6 million Americans suffer from a form of dementia or Alzheimer's. 1 in 3 seniors will die with it. Every 67 seconds, someone is diagnosed with a form of dementia or Alzheimer's. And it is the only disease in the top 10 that cannot be stopped, cured, or slowed. Now, music may not be the cure, but it is the key. What seems to happen is that a piece of familiar music serves as a soundtrack for a mental movie that starts playing in our head, said Petra Janida, a cognitive neuroscientist at University of California, Davis. It calls back memories of a particular person or place, and you might all of a sudden see that person's face in your mind's eye. And there is no better way to illustrate this point than by watching this clip from the 2014 Sundance Award-winning documentary, Alive Inside. Let's take a look.
I have one resident that barely opened her eyes. She didn't respond. As much as I tried, I knew her for 2 years. No matter what I tried, massage wouldn't work, nothing worked. But when we got introduced to the iPods and the family told me the things that she liked, it was amazing once we put the iPod on her. She started shaking her feet. She started moving her head. Her son was just amazed. Okay, can we stop? Because now I'm getting alarmed. I'm seeing her all over again.
Hi, Papa. Hi, Papa. How you doing?
All right, fine.
Who am I? Okay, it's Cherry. How long has he been in the nursing home? Approximately 10 years. He was having seizures, and my mother couldn't handle him at all. Of course it affected me greatly, because he was always, you know, fun-loving, singing, you know, every occasion he would come out with a song, no matter where he was. I remember as a child, he used to walk us down the street, me and my brother, and he would stop and do Singing in the Rain. He would have us jumping and swinging around poles. He was, you know, he was good. He was always into music, you know, always loved singing, dancing.
His name is Henry Dreyer. And I'm looking more or less for religious music for him. Because he enjoys music and he always quotes in the Bible. So I'd rather have that for him.
We first see Henry inert, maybe depressed, unresponsive, and almost unalive.
Henry.
Yeah?
Henry.
Yes, so.
I found your music. You want your music now? Okay. Let's try your music, okay? And then you tell me if it's too loud or not.
Then he is given an iPod containing, we know, his favorite music. And immediately he lights up. His face assumes expression, his eyes open wide. He starts to sing, to rock, and to move his arms, and he's being animated by the music.
And he used to always sit on the unit with his head like this. He didn't really talk to much people. And then when I introduced the music to him, this is his reaction ever since.
The philosopher Kant once called music the quickening art, and Henry is being quickened, he's being brought to life. Yeah.
I'm going to take the music for 1 second, okay? Just to ask you a few questions. Okay? I'm going to give it back to you. Okay.
The effect of this doesn't stop, because when the headphones are taken off, Henry, normally mute and virtually unable to answer the simplest yes or no questions, is quite voluble.
Henry.
Yeah?
Do you like the iPod? Do you like the music you're hearing?
Yes.
Tell me about your music.
Well, I don't have none, my man.
Do you like music?
Yeah, I'm crazy about music. You play beautiful music, beautiful sound.
Did Did you play music when you were, did you like music when you were young?
Yes, I went to big dances and things.
What was your favorite music when you were young?
I guess, Cab Calloway was my #1 band guy I like.
What's your favorite Cab Calloway song?
Oh, I'll be on there for Christmas. Oh, you can count plans on me with plenty of snow, mistletoe, present, reverend free. Ow.
So in some sense, Henry is restored to himself. He has remembered who he is, and he's reacquired his identity for a while through the power of music.
What does music do to you?
Give me this feeling of love. No man. Figure right now the world needs to come into music, singing. You got beautiful music in. Beautiful, all lovely. And I feel the band of love, dream. Lord came to me, made me holy. I'm a holy man. So he gave me this sound. I'll just say, I meet you. I'm gonna say, Rosalie, won't you love me? Rosalie, won't you be sweet and kind?
With this beautiful new technology, you can have all the music which is significant for you in something as big as a matchbox or whatever. And I think this may be very, very important in helping to animate, organize, and bring a sense of identity back to people who are out of it. Otherwise, music will bring them back into it, into their own personhood, their own memories, their own autobiographies.
Now let's examine another scenario. You're in a hospital room surrounded by machines that are monitoring your heart temperature and blood pressure. The last thing you remember was severe pain in your chest, lightheadedness, and difficulty breathing, and now you're here, awaiting the results of your spell. You're scared, you're cold, you're anxious. You can't stop your mind from racing as fast as your heart, and the annoying, monotonous sound from the TV at least is giving you some comfort. As you wait, it seems like forever. Will I be okay? Am I going to die? What is going to happen to my family? You hear footsteps approach and you see a kind, smiling face, pushing along an instrument that you've seen in many heavenly photos, the harp. The nurse thought that you might enjoy some therapeutic music, they say. May I play you some? And you tentatively say, sure. They enter the room and they sit in a stool close to the door. They sit there silently, listening, breathing with you, it seems. And then the music starts. It's soft and lovely. As you listen, you begin to relax, and you notice that your shoulders release, and the jaw that you've been clenching lets go. And you begin to feel heavy as you sink into the bed, and your heart rate begins to slow down. And by the time the doctor enters the room to deliver news, you are relaxed and comfortable. Therapeutic musicians are trained to play bedside for those that are ill or actively dying. They play for conditions including non-acute, acute, cognitively impaired, actively dying, and high pain and anxiety. They use music as medicine in the moment to support the healing process and comfort you. And they bring beauty into places that don't really feel very beautiful. Sorry, that was very loud. Research proves music can decrease pain, lower blood pressure, reduce anxiety, stabilize your heart rate. Music can slow down and equalize brain waves. Music affects the heartbeat, the pulse rate, and blood pressure. Music can regulate stress-related hormones. Music and sound can boost the immune function, and music can strengthen memory and learning. Right down, some neighbors just right down south of us here in Lodi at the Vienna Convalescent and Rehabilitation Center, they put this to the test. And they were able to reduce the use of antipsychotics, antihypnotics, sleep aids, and in some cases antidepressants by more than 50% with the use of personalized music. 50. And this number continues to grow as they remain dedicated to using medicine only when it's absolutely necessary, to using pharmaceuticals only when it's necessary. So let me ask you this question. If you were able to give those that are suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia back their memory and their identity, if you were able to comfort children, cancer patients, those in acute care, those in end of life, would you wait another day? What if Henry was your father? Or your sister, or your child? Would you want to wait one more day to give them something so small that can give them so much? Music works. Whether using personalized playlists or therapeutic in-the-moment comfort care, TunesWork, our nonprofit 501c3, we advocate, support, fund, and help sustain music being used as medicine in local facilities. We know that music is good medicine, and together we're changing lives through the power of music. The California Association of Health Facilities, otherwise known as CAF, was awarded a $1.5 million grant to implement music and memory statewide in 300 skilled nursing facilities, thus improving the lives of 4,500 residents. This was back in June of 2015, and they will be completing this grant in June of 2018. And I am very proud to say that they have already affected the lives of 4,500 residents. Together with the UC Davis research component, they sought to prove that music used as medicine is valid and invaluable. In mid-2016, CAF, however, realized that their grant was not enough to adequately fund their participating facilities' music libraries, because your playlist is different than mine, right? So I might want songs on there that those songs wouldn't spark memories for you. So having an adequate music library for every facility is really important, having plenty of songs to pull from. So when they realized that they did not have enough, that is where TunesWork stepped in. Over the last 2 years, with the help of communities like yours, TunesWork set out to make a difference here in Sacramento and the surrounding areas, and we started with CAF. TunesWork presented a very successful and sold-out concert with Craig Chiquiso. Everybody, air guitar, air guitar. She's on it. That was at Thunder Valley Casino, and we raised over $50,000 for Eschaton's therapeutic music program, which is the example of the harpist that I had given you. And CAF's shortfall was met by giving a total of $12,200, which was over 10,000 songs that they could give to their participating facilities. In addition to raising the necessary funds, Mike and I were the founding members of the CAF Music and Memory Steering Committee, which helped also build a music CD library. We organized volunteers, we created a one-page analysis for administrators, and much more. TunesWork also granted a local Roseville hospice startup money for their own music and memory program. TunesWork sent $5,000 directly back to New York, where music and memory is, and asked them to use it specifically in the state of California. And we also helped to set up a lot I'm trying to think of how to say it, quite a few iPod location drop-offs, so that, you know, the iPods that you find in your drawers that you're no longer using, you can go and turn them in and they can be used for somebody to make a personalized playlist. During this past year, we funded Music in Memory in 4 local senior centers, as well as helped facilitate Rosemont High School GATE students' involvement in sustaining those programs. We've helped show the film a handful of times, and we've done numerous presentations to raise awareness about this cause. And coming up right around the corner, mark your calendars. I know you had something during the day on the 7th, but if you don't have something during the evening, this is a benefit concert. TunesWork is teaming up with Steele and Dan. I'm actually a band member in Steele and Dan as well. And we're going to do a benefit concert, and all of the proceeds are going to go into the Grass Valley, Nevada City community to start up at least 3 Music in Memory programs. So please do mark your calendars. You have some flyers on your table. And if you flip it over, you will see that we just did a showing of Alive Inside at the Center for the Arts, the same location that we'll be doing the benefit concert, yesterday. It was a sold-out show, and if you want to see this entire film, which I highly recommend, it is available on YouTube, Amazon Prime, Netflix, handful of places. So, how can you help? We still need help. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay? Visit local senior centers, hospitals, rehabilitation centers, cancer clinics. Ask them, do you have any therapeutic music programs? Do you do Music in Memory here? If not, I want it. Because if my family members are in here, I want them to have access to music. If I'm in here, I want to have access to music. Research it yourself online. Learn more about the power of music and how it heals, how it affects us, how it affects our physiology, how it lowers blood pressure, how it does so much more. Make a loved one a personalized playlist and watch them come alive. I have made handfuls of them, and let me tell you, every single time it is miraculous. Just like you saw on this screen. I'm not kidding, that is real. People can go from being unresponsive, unable to communicate, to fully present with you, all because they hear the right song. And please support TunesWork's efforts, because your work plus our work equals TunesWork. So thank you so much. And